Yeah.
Do they ever get confused? Like,
Oh, cheeseburger. What do you say? What's all the cheeseburgers? What's that guy's name?
Brian.
So,
Referring to cheesemakers, but all
welcome to
manufacturers
Epic
of,
Coffee Time.
Dairy products.
This is Dan.
Or we have a coffee time or Riverbend weekend.
Oh boy, don't
Do it now.
Don't do that. I can't announce yet. The ink has not dried.
Whoa.
Yeah, people are like
buzzing.
waiting.
We're buzzing
check
over
has-
here.
The check has not been deposited yet. So right now, all I can say is we're in talks. We're in negotiation.
How much are we paying them?
At this point, I can't tell you how much we're paying them, but it'll probably be a hefty sum. Now, the idea is to, I don't know, do what we did, but a little more and less continuity.
Mary's supposed to steal second, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
it's fine.
you don't have to give signals, Theory.
It's nighttime drug time.
Oh, it's
Yeah. Take them down.
You can't abuse a
I feel
body.
like I'm on a new episode of the Cosby Show.
Yeah, you can't abuse a body like the way I've abused mine and not have to take certain drugs.
Jesus, look at those.
I know, they're huge. There's more.
What?
Got anything good?
No.
How many?
It's all stuff to make me like stop
I want a
having a heart
blue
attack. Yeah.
Do you have anything in blue?
No.
What would happen if you stopped taking stuff to make you stop having a heart attack?
I might have a heart attack.
What's a
Oh.
syringe for?
You live on the edge.
Yeah.
Speaking of heart attacks, I was so surprised
I
at
need
the
a
number of
razor
people
blade
that
and a
turned
mirror.
up. That turned out on Saturday.
How many?
It almost, it was almost sent me right into cardiac arrest.
Yeah, it was pretty insane.
Yeah, it was nuts. Oh, you remember you had something to do, didn't you?
No, I didn't have a thing to do.
she just skipped. All right. That's okay. But you know what? We got wet. It was for a good cause. We challenged
I
some
had to
people,
unpack.
and one of them responded by blowing up a pool, and then the other ones shot a video. So Fred blew up the Woodruff pool. If you didn't know.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with that? Can we talk about that? No.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know enough, but I mean, we could fall
Is it an act
into
of terror?
rumor or conjecture. I mean, that's for damn sure.
Well,
Don't always have to have the facts
Is Fred
before
with
we
ISIS?
shoot.
I just started that rumor.
Yeah, you did.
Uh.
Unfortunately.
Well, there's some
Nobody
misinformation in
Nobody
that.
cares.
Oh, chlorine is chlorine. So two kinds of chlorine mixed together is completely compatible. One of those had to be something other than just chlorine.
Ammonia.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you mix a
Chlorine
chlorine
tablet and a
tablet
chlorine
with
liquid.
a chlorine
It's
liquid,
still chlorine.
it's still chlorine.
Right.
So there had to be something. In engineer speaking, scientist friend of mine posted this to try to come to Fred's defense a little bit. It definitely was two incompatible products, but they were not both chlorine.
Couldn't be.
They couldn't be, because
I heard they found anthrax in the nacho cheese sauce.
No.
I heard somebody pooped in the
That's
pool.
what I
too,
heard.
Well, somebody probably peed in the chlorine
To flush it out.
bucket. Yeah. It's got ammonia in it.
Yeah.
but
There's
crazy.
Mystery
something
solved.
going on.
It
Yeah.
was you, wasn't it?
The
I
high
can't-
levels of ammonia.
I can't say. I may have been busy. Yeah, high levels of ammonia. So somebody maybe with some liver damage or something.
Did you see the
So next we're
Riverbender?
doing the chlorine
Did you see the
challenge.
Riverbender picture for the article though? And it was like some guy that looked like it was just some kid that was passing by and had just eaten the nachos. He had like a Dairy Queen or a Slurpee from 7-Eleven,
Yeah,
and he was
it
like,
was
going,
great.
did you see it? And he was like pointing like this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It was
who's
great.
this guy?
Well, it looked like they were well beyond the point.
Have you
where-
noticed that Wood River's been in the news a lot lately? And it's just,
Have they?
yeah.
You're not supposed to give out our physical location, but
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we won't tell you we're at 803 Ferguson in Wood River, but just in case that those two people that already know where we're at might show up
Right.
in the off chance. So Anyway,
Rich already said he's not coming.
Right.
So he's
oh,
one of
that's
two.
right. So that's one of the two. Well, that pretty much sums it up.
Is it one of your friends that you said?
No.
No.
So
I have
I
friends.
titled this week's program as
Yeah,
if
we
it,
always stick
as
to-
if it was
to
a
the,
riveting. Yeah, last week I don't even think we talked about what the title was. I think it's just kind of suck curious people in, and then they realize, well, these guys don't talk anything about that. So anyway, brought this together because it's almost election time, obviously.
Okay.
I think.
You're going to
Is
miss
it
the
this
debate
November?
tomorrow night.
Is there a debate
that's,
tomorrow night?
That's horrible.
It'll probably be the only one Trump's in, so you're really going to miss something. I'm sure you can catch it on.
I'll DVR it if Trump's going to be on there.
He was one of them
absolutely.
picked. Perry,
I
the
would love to
news
see
on
that.
this, and I may get you off topic, was that Perry and Santorum did not get picked to be on the prime time panel. So they're going to debate at 5 o'clock. No lie. Fox has.
in the restroom.
I don't know where.
We could do some
Stalling
stalling
around,
around for
steal
that.
our idea.
Yeah, that'd be a
But,
great idea.
Apparently Fox has a earlier debate for 5 other candidates that did not get picked in the polling
Oh
numbers.
my God, the honorable mention debate.
Yep.
How would you?
Now, those
I
are
would
two
be
big
part
names.
of that. Actually, I probably wouldn't even get
I was gonna
invited
say
to the
you're looking
honorable
at a
mention
bunch of us
debate.
that would probably be a part of that, right?
So you got to have Trump. I mean, not only even if
23%. He's leading the pack.
even
So
if he was
apparently-
not the front runner.
Apparently Fox got
That's because
CNN
he's
or whoever's
drama-fied.
doing the Republican Party
And
thing
dysfunction
to agree
funny.
to do 2 popularity polls. And the winners of the popularity polls are the ones that are going to be on this debate on Thursday.
It was a
So-
Facebook poll.
It's Chris
Ooh.
Christie. Chris Christie. You may have to open another tab and Google it or something.
I'm
but
not
you don't
that
think you
interested.
can. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, well,
You know, Donald Trump. It was really weird the combination
Somebody
of
didn't have
people
their
that
map.
won the popularity poll
right.
His
and not
eyebrows
Perry
are
or
lowered.
Santorum.
Ooh. Well, I didn't even know Santorum was in the race. This shows you
always-
how much I care.
Got his name in something.
I'm not voting until November of next year. That's when I'm voting. So I really don't care what these guys say. Now,
Now, the comedy
I will
news
say-
that you've been trying to create on the internet for the last 2 years, and you're not going to watch
Really?
a debate that's a full 14 months before the actual election.
the only reason I'll watch it is because Trump has become like a George Carlin character
This is pro
to
wrestling.
me. I mean, it is absolutely it's fantastic.
This is I'm going to get you,
Telenovela.
you know.
Because he's like, oh, I'm using my own money. I don't need people to pay me off, so I can tell anybody whatever I want. It's almost like he's got carte blanche to say whatever he wants to whoever he wants.
Right.
So I can't wait until these people all get together. See, what would be great is if they had another debate, just an early debate between Trump and Clinton, right now.
Just right now.
Just right now.
Just a pretend one.
Right. Just to
Trump was
pretend.
never going to be here 10 months from now. I don't think.
You don't think so? I think
I
he
do
will.
not think he will be. I don't know. This is a Ross Perot.
He's got
no.
an ego and a pocketbook that will keep him in this race.
So did Ross Perot, and granted, he was in the race.
He was
But
in.
he
He
wasn't
was on
running
the
on the-
ballot.
Republican.
You
But
can
did
vote
he,
for
didn't
him.
he like not get on the ballot and then
People
Yeah.
wrote him in.
people wrote him in?
Yeah.
So, what's our topic again?
Oh yeah, what was the name of it?
Oh, so anyway, it's another Facebook thing. And I've been watching this.
Awesome.
I've been watching this for a while. You know, Facebook and the Republicans are all over Facebook because I don't know why, but Jesus has all of a sudden shown up on Facebook. Just people that share stuff, like share and you'll be blessed, and like, who the hell does that stuff?
I don't.
Half
I mean-
my friends.
But I don't understand it.
I'm hiding all of you.
Yeah.
Either you are or you aren't.
Type amen if you believe in Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep scrolling if you hate his guts.
That was one that I saw the other day. It's unbelievable. Oh well, I just wasn't that interested. So it didn't mean that I hated him by any means. I just
Chose
wasn't
not to
interested.
give an opinion.
Wasn't interested in that post.
And you're of the belief that Jesus doesn't think you hate him if you keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think he's
He
like,
knows
oh,
already.
man,
No,
I'm
we're not.
unfriended
Just because
you.
Eileen Cheatham told me that I shouldn't keep scrolling or I'm going to hell doesn't mean that I'm going to hell. I mean, I just
You sure?
Randomly
name
pulled
out of the air.
Yeah, I'm sure then. I'll look on your friends list just to make sure.
You don't even have to, because one of your friends could like that page or
Oh,
put
and
amen,
and it would show up,
in
right?
your page.
Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
probably
And
what happened.
that's what's going on. And I don't know. Maybe I've got some friends that are just newly acquainted with Jesus, and they think they know what he says. So what I wanted to do tonight is kind of clear the air a little bit
Oh, good.
about Republicans and Jesus, okay, and Southerners and Jesus, and
The Democrats are putting up plenty of Jesus memes also, not the... They're doing little cartoons.
I haven't seen
Well,
any, so I
with
might be
Jesus.
oblivious.
Yeah,
Here's the-
absolutely.
here's the
Buddy
thing.
But
railing
again,
you again.
I'm not.
It's so
here's the
fun.
thing that I don't get, okay? All right, you guys can clear this up for me.
All right.
When there is unrest in the city, okay, and KMOV Channel 4 in St. Louis, yes, I'm calling you out, has made this End Violence STL. That's their hashtag. That's what they're going to live and die by. However, they've joined with all these churches. Did you see the air quotes there? Churches to end violence.
Okay.
Okay, so this is not only
Oh, so it
They're-
wasn't in violence, like I-N.
no
Violence
in
hashtag.
in.
Oh, see, I thought you were like,
In.
Channel 4 is like, come on, because we need some news stories.
Well,
Let's
they-
get in the violence. And I
Yeah,
didn't
so
understand.
they got these ministers out there provoking people
Got
to end the violence or whatever. Here's the thing. When there is trouble in inner cities, the leaders, mostly Democrats generally, in larger cities, this is the way it is, turn to churches to straighten it out. Am I correct? Generally,
Okay,
they want to
yeah.
go to the churches because they think that these pastors have some kind of control over their flock. However, if you go to a Southern church or a church that a Republican might support, they are evil. Same church, right? They believe in the same person, generally, who is Jesus, who I'm told doesn't want to be involved in any of this. He has asked me to tell you that. I spoke to him personally, just like you did, and he told me to leave him out of this. But I'm bringing him into this
what?
conversation.
Of politics
Out
and...
of politics, out of your brand of religion, whatever the hell it is. It's not what he taught, and anything else having to do with social media, as a matter of fact. So, I had that conversation. And most people won't listen to me because they don't think I can talk to Jesus. Only they can. Okay? So I get it. They go to church every Sunday. They're anointed. I'm on it. Okay. See?
Would
I don't
you
like it.
just go through the internet and get your ordainedness that speaks to Jesus?
No, I just, you know
I
what?
like it when Dan doesn't have an app.
I hit my head on a rock about
And that gives
about
you
2.5 years ago. Yeah, I hit my head on a rock.
certificate of
It was a
Jesus
very
speaking.
small rock, but it was a rock nonetheless. Didn't really feel it, but at that same moment, I heard a voice that said, "Hey, you all right?" Now, there was nobody anywhere around, so all I can assume was that that was the voice of Jesus.
Okay, here, and this is coming from a guy that doesn't believe there's anything past this, who doesn't believe that those were anything other than great stories, but believes in the truth of what they talk about, that thinks he can talk to Jesus and praise to that stuff, because I believe that that's all, I don't know. And so I don't get where hitting your head on a rock helped you talk to Jesus any more than me,
Well,
who doesn't even think that he was
You have the
ever...
brown-
Yeah, I don't think that was
What do
a
you mean
real
doing that?
story about you hitting your head. Well, you probably hit your
What do you
head on a
mean?
rock.
You saying it's not true? It was a small rock. It
it
kind
could
of
be
hurt.
the spider bite.
Is this anything like the flood
Could have
that
been.
happened to your house?
No, I think this
The
wasn't
first
this
flood.
that Smith guy.
Not the karma flood. For
Oh.
Joseph having a
Did
flood.
Didn't Joseph Smith
Did
hit
you
his
bring
head
a
or
seal?
something?
He had a dream.
Oh, he just had a dream. He didn't.
Yeah,
get
no,
that
not
version.
like Martin Luther King Jr.
Right. So Joseph Smith just had a dream.
Yeah, he just
And
had
had
a
all
dream.
those conversations.
Right.
Well, he
Didn't he
found
have wives?
some seer stones that an angel gave him some tablets and he interpreted, but he lost them. Whoops.
Maybe that's what I hit my head on.
Maybe
That's your stuff.
you should have dug it out of the what happened. Did
Man,
it go down?
I should have paid closer attention. I didn't realize it was going to change my life like this. But anyway, to digress,
You're saying Republicans get criticized for believing in the same God more than Democrats do,
yes. But
or same Jesus.
But what I'm telling you is something that nobody is making the correlation between is when shit goes down, and I did say shit on the Jesus show, when it goes down, these people turn to churches to try to control the masses.
Well, they turn to
create
not
change.
churches necessarily, but leaders,
Civic
that call
leaders,
themselves
community leaders.
leaders
That
in the church,
somehow-
but they're really
yeah,
politicians.
right.
It's not the same thing. They
They
don't
give
turn
you-
to churches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Are all leaders of churches a little bit politically
Hang
involved?
on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Because think about the Catholic Church. Women could never be priests, but then as the times change politically for them to continue being a money-making machine, they've said, "Oh no, we were wrong. They can be." So
Yeah.
in certain instances now, there's women priests, or in the Catholic.
Oh, and then
you know what I
there's-
mean?
well,
So
there's
so
Judas Priest. as
So
well.
are all religions politicians in some degree?
There's religion, or there's politics in every religion, but not every religious person or Christian body
Because
is
really,
politically motivated.
Multiple religions read the same book
Just
too.
most of them.
You don't go to a certain
Just every single one
bookstore.
I've been to.
And
You don't
only
go to
get
a
the
certain
Gideon
bookstore that
Bible.
only gives you a Bible just for
Or King.
your religion. So they're all reading the same book. So it's all about interpretations and
Well, I don't know. Is
movements
that the
within
New
your
King
religion.
James version that you're reading, or
or
the
the
NIV?
Gideon, or
But what I'm
the
saying, so
third
if there's
King.
only those
Century
two.
version, because that's the devil.
But isn't there just one that uses old language and one that's just trying to put our
No, that's
current
Old
words?
Testament.
They're
New
interpretations of different
wording.
scrolls. Like, it
So they don't
doesn't
even
matter.
use the same stories in there?
Yes, they do. I'm just being an
Oh, I hear
asshole.
you. I totally understand.
You said asshole on Jesus.
I say all
We're
kinds of
talking
things.
about Jesus.
But so I guess
He'll forgive you, though. I talked to him.
I'm gonna hit your head on a rock in a minute.
Only if you ask for it.
No, go ahead.
that I don't understand the confusion in that stuff when really that's just the way it is. It seems like it's just a political movement about survival of the fittest.
Okay,
is what it
okay.
seems like it becomes.
Hang
How
on.
can we keep money levels at the same? They become a business and an organization amongst themselves, even though they're private ties. And maybe I'm getting way off track now because I'm talking about just religion, but that they do things to keep that money ball rolling no differently than a McDonald's corporation does when it rolls out the new
Dollar menu.
bun, or the new dollar menu to make these people come spend their money there.
Okay. All right.
That churches, in my eyes, sometimes do that. I'm not saying all
Yep.
of them.
I
But-
get that. But what I'm talking about is a little bit of a hypocrisy that exists.
It's right there where I just said it started at the very core of it even being a
But-
church.
But we keep, hang on, we want to try to keep politics out of religion. However, when shit goes wrong, and that seems like that's the only way to control the masses, we turn to religion.
Control the masses.
Yes.
I know what you're saying. You're saying that in an inner city, a church is a beacon of the community and you're saying that the citizens of that area, that's their community involvement is in this church. So the church has some sort of power over them that then says, hey, these guys mean well and they're doing good. So politicians turn to them to try to get that message out there.
Right. But
You
it's,
think-
but you don't
It's like
have,
having a lobby.
but you
Lobbyists.
don't really have conservative leaders leading those communities or turning to those people. And if you do, then they're chastised for that. I just want to know why that double standard exists. And
We
why
don't have good Christian leaders that would get in front of a microphone and be political, because that's not what Jesus is.
I agree.
The real leaders in the church that are doing what Jesus called them to do aren't holding press conferences because they're not supposed to.
You come
They're
to
just-
them, they won't come to you.
Works comes first. They're working in the community.
Understand your point. I absolutely
and
understand
also,
your
the
point.
Republican Party, do you think Republican politicians really care
No.
about
They
the
are-
issues of the
They are
church
doing
church
what the
people care about?
Democratic Party does,
Right.
and it's
The
pander
they
to the
do
base.
the same thing. Yeah.
But the problem is religion seems to set at the people that get out and vote generally are people from you don't see the scumbags out there at the polling place getting ready. They get up early on a Tuesday morning in November
They're open
to
late.
cast their vote. They're open late.
Yeah, so I mean,
but what I'm saying
I
is,
know.
you don't see them hurrying up to get out there and cast their vote. What it is the people that are pandered to.
You lost me when you said there's no scumbags in church. Is that what you said?
No, there's plenty.
Okay.
It's
Check.
just, it usually takes a while to get them outed, though. That's all. Hi,
Anyway.
Jared. Anyway. Did I say that? 16 years old, and he has to pay for it. Come on. What did he lose all that weight for?
Right,
Nothing.
right. I didn't know he switched over to that.
I was just going to say, what
Yeah,
are you
you-
talking about? Who's 16 and lost weight?
You haven't been here for a while, have you?
No.
Okay.
I've been
So
hanging
you
out
don't
at the
know how to
movies.
ride the ADH train without
So,
getting all freaked out.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
What were you gonna say?
So my whole point is there are legitimate human beings on the face of this earth that believe in Jesus Christ and what he said. However, we generally take what he said and twist it to make it be what we want it to be, rather than just being the truth
Right.
about all things. I mean, psychologically, if you take and can adhere to the things that he said, this world becomes a very wonderful world,
Tolerable place.
but very socialist in the same regard, because we're looking out for one another. Yeah. I'm not saying it's government-controlled socialism. However, we
That's
look
the
out
word
for
we
one
would
another.
describe.
That's the
Right.
word we have for it, but yeah.
And
Anyway,
that's,
go ahead.
I guess that was my point to support the guy like me that can believe that none of that stuff is even real, though. But when I psychologically believe in that truth, everything's okay. But I didn't have to buy into the whole, I'm going to go, my spirit's going to live for eternity, that there's a heaven, that there's a hell, that there's all of these things.
No, you can believe in, you can buy into the psychological truth that
Of
lies
Jesus.
within his teachings.
Yes.
And not always the ones that came after, but the ones that were
Yeah.
there. What do they call those? The Gospels. Yeah, okay. Now, I was trying to throw you a bone there.
I
Didn't
need your
work.
bone.
Boy, this has gone to hell real quick.
Speaking
Thanks,
of
Jesus.
Santorum, I know.
Yeah, no kidding. But my whole thing about this is it drives me absolutely bananas when you get liberals and you get conservatives, and all of it comes back to religion baiting or race baiting or the lowest common denominators, if you will, of human society. Am I right?
You try to get people to buy into their
Right.
brand of politics.
Right, exactly. I mean, challenge us intellectually. You know, when Hillary Clinton comes to St. Louis, where does she go? She goes to a predominantly African American church, and they have a big rally there. Huh? What?
And her dialect changes.
A church.
Just saying.
And all of a sudden she seems to give a shit. She doesn't. All she wants to do is get elected. I mean, that's the
Rally
unfortunate
that
part.
base. It goes
That's
back
why-
to base.
Right.
That's why I go back to Donald Trump needing to be in this race, if for nothing more than just to call these assholes out for what they are. I mean, Nobody's done it.
He doesn't have to worry about where the gravy train's coming from.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
So
he
doesn't
can
have
say
to,
whatever he
he
wants.
doesn't have to try to polarize some base
His
of voters or some
his-
group of people.
only problem is there's enough loonies out there, and
But he could say something.
God forbid this
Yeah.
happen. There's enough loonies out there that somebody will try to take him out. Not, hope to God that doesn't happen, because you all look at me like I planned it. But you got idiots walking into a movie theater and opening fire on people. This is the third one in, 2 years? You know, this guy down in Tennessee. It's a tragedy. I feel bad for the people in Nashville that had to suffer through this horrific
Maybe
crime
there's one we didn't know about.
Nashville?
today. Just today. Absolutely.
Didn't hear about that one.
Moron.
So that's 2 in a month.
And then I think, well, maybe the conspiracy side of me, the frosted side, that says, well, maybe the government is hiring these people to go around and shoot up these places, because it doesn't make any sense to do it otherwise if it weren't for some kind of profit, fame, whatever. How can you hate somebody so bad or be that far off your rocker that nobody would notice that you're insane,
It was like Kramer, yeah.
or have any kind of concern that you have a weapon? I'm sorry. Were we in your way? Okay. She had a job to do, and that job was feeding the cat. So anyway, another shooting in a movie theater, this time in Nashville.
Why are they picking movie theaters?
I don't know.
Captive audience.
Uh,
Sorry. She
Too
asked.
soon.
What movies
I
are
think
playing?
so. I
Right.
don't
Is
know.
it the type of movie?
Cecil the Lion, the Lion King, maybe.
No.
Thought he paid a lot of money for that, take that shot. So anyways, all of this stuff is going on. My conspiracy side says, well, this is just people trying to get gun control or get this conversation out in the open, which it already is. I mean, you got one side that panders to gun owners, and you got one side that panders to, whatever these guys are. I'm not even sure. I want to be kind of respectful, so it's just these people. The anti-gun people. How about that? That's better.
Okay, I'm not taking
Okay.
your gun, man. Don't
Yeah.
wave it around like that.
I'm all for you having gun rights.
All right, now
Okay.
turn the movie off and listen to me. Listen to me good. So, there you got all these things going on socially that fuel more of this idiot talk politically. And so a guy like Trump is pretty refreshing, because if he's got an opinion about it, he's not going to wait and see and poll which side, he should land on. He
Right.
just says, here, this is what it is.
I wonder now the percentage of movie theaters that have,
Well, now we're all going to have to get pat down.
yeah, that's what I was just,
Metal detector.
not really testing.
It may be, and I don't want
I'm
to
already
sound
getting bent over for popcorn.
I don't want to
Well,
sound
shit.
insensitive,
And so, yeah.
but this may be a conspiracy by the movie theater
to jack the
owners.
prices up?
To make sure you're not sneaking in jujubes.
No
They
kidding.
can pat you down now. I mean, think about the millions of dollars that are lost every year because you snuck in some candy into that movie theater.
Alright.
No?
Let's move it back to turn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't. You bring a microwave.
Yeah.
You have
I know,
a place I could plug
that
this
goes
in?
back to this 24/7 delivery of news, though. I mean, crazy's crazy, and I'm sure crazy's been going on for a long time. And just because it seemed to have happened in these spots or types of environments,
It's always been going on.
It's
and we're
always
just
been
now
going
hearing
on.
it. Of
crazy's
another
crazy. Somebody shooting a bunch of people in a group has always been going on, whether it be a school or a movie house. And so I don't necessarily think, I think it's all that, hey, we're just more aware of it now because there's reporting of it by news, because news wants us to think it's a big deal, because it is polarizing to the political parties to be able to bring up gun control, and that you should feel safe as an American citizen to go to the movies, pay your $80 to go in there and eat some popcorn and watch a movie and not be killed.
So, we're not going back to blaming the media, are we?
To me, I think you do, to some degree. Or at least for the sensationalism of it. And I'm not saying that you're wrong and that politicians don't take the advantage of those unfortunate situations to polarize their base. It gives them a reason to go back and get empathy and get people emotionally charged on, those wheels moving makes money somewhere. They're making money somewhere. There's too many lobbyists involved and too many things that fund these people's ability to be able to travel around the country and even polarize these bases, or go talk to these churches, or go
and
do all of that. There's
always follow the money, blah blah blah. I get and the news. Well, the news follows the money too. Those people got to get paid. But when it comes right down to it, the almighty dollar, or whatever it is these days, not almighty by any means, but it's still almost a dollar that you got in your hand, drives every decision that we make. Is that right, or is that wrong? Or am I looking at America in a totally different way than what I should? Everything that I do on a daily basis is driven by money.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing comes free.
No.
Nope.
So I'm over here, and then am I supposed to be pissed off at the people that have figured out how to make money and not do anything? Or am I supposed to tip my hat to them and say, fuck, I wish I was that smart?
Yeah.
That's what we don't get. That's where we get these polar opposite ideas. Is, oh sure, I bust my ass, but that's just because I haven't found a better way to make money and not bust my ass. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I look at people that have a living, it doesn't mean that it's what mine is, but they're not complaining. They got money in their pocket. They can do certain things. Am I to complain about what they have or why they got it? I don't think so.
I'm just trying to decide whether to tell you that you have something on your lip or not.
Oh, does he?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Kind of.
I think it's
You
milk.
know, put it in
No.
Put it in your coffee.
No.
It's probably sugar or something.
Probably.
Maybe some leftover
It's
Twinkies.
gone. No.
Because I'm one of the haves, we get Twinkies.
What?
You got to eat some golden creams from Little Debbie or something.
Or
me, I can get the Twinkies. I worked hard for them Twinkies.
My mind's in the gutter with that one, so.
Well.
Uh-oh. I don't need to know.
Maybe either.
You guys can talk that out later. That's probably the story about Twinkies that
I don't put it in my mouth if cream might come out of it.
Right.
Mary started it.
She did.
You can have them.
And Miss Debbie too.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I get what you're saying, and I don't think that it means Facebook is broke or that there's something wrong with people, because I guess I probably grasp Jesus enough to know that those people don't even offend me
Oh yeah.
when they say that if I scroll past Jesus, I'm going to go to hell.
I'm
And
not
I-
offended.
Oh,
They're
I
just
don't even mean it that way.
irritating.
It's
Didn't even mean that
irritating.
towards you. I thought you bringing it up is irritating, is what you were saying. And so I was directing it back towards the
You
conversation.
seem
So it just
fired up
doesn't.
about it.
It is irritating.
It doesn't bug me because
Because it's judging.
I don't
Me?
care.
I'm
No.
judging them,
No,
or they're judging me.
No, they're judging.
They're judging you in some aspect
Because they
you're
don't
not
scrolling.
a
They have
believer.
500 friends. They don't know if you scrolled or not. They're assuming you did because you didn't like it
Or I didn't share it. Yeah.
or you didn't share it.
Right.
And that's an assumption that they may make, especially in a close group of their friends. They might go, well, I hang out with her 2 or 3 times a week and she didn't like or share it. I thought she believed the same way as me.
Right.
I can see that being the only way that it even affects real life, and really that still isn't coming from Jesus or God. That's just their...
Or they're proud of their faith, and which is fine, and that's their way of sharing it. Because
Right, it might not have anything to do with the other person.
Oh, they're not doing that to offend me
No.
specifically?
Right. They didn't get up this morning and go, how do we offend
You know what?
Dan?
I'm gonna post those all week this week. Just like every
Thanks.
meme that I can find.
And I will post every single wonderful Trump quote I can find.
Well, hey, I did find something really funny in my newsfeed that I did have to scroll back up today, and I won't say the person's name for fear that somebody might be listening. But anyways, I was scrolling, and it was a group of it said of 60 pictures, and the 5 that were in the group was of a woman leaning against a tree, wrapped in a Confederate flag like it was a dress. I don't know if it's somebody that'd be on our mutual friends list. So there was all these.
Look 'em up.
There's all these
Quick.
pictures. I'll show you later. So there's all these other pictures like.
Would
it
you
was-
like them? They'll just
I-
show up in my news feed.
I think they were senior pictures, and this was one of the poses or pictures that were done. And I was just going, okay, you know.
That's a statement you want to make in
Who
your
thought
senior
that was a
picture?
good idea, you know?
Yeah,
Because, and the only reason that I said that
Right.
is because it's too late in the year or too early in the year. It was pictures with the year in it. You know, like maybe some twigs on the tree said the year.
Right.
ain't hate, it's heritage.
And I don't understand what they were then or what they were a part of
Right.
as a photo opportunity.
And see, we go back to that, the Confederate flag. We talked about this a couple weeks ago when Rich Urban was here.
Yeah.
We talked about it. But, you know, where do you... There's no public forum where that should be acceptable.
Yeah.
Where you think, well, somebody's not going to be offended by this.
Especially now that it's been brought up in the way that it's been brought up.
Right. And and believe me, just because that weird kid who killed those people, the tragic deaths that they had to
We can take this one.
endure. I mean, you can't imagine you're in your safe place and somebody comes and shooting. But just because he had a Confederate flag or whatever, I mean, this kid was a blatant racist. I mean, that's exactly what he was.
But
And
why
so-
would he turn to that as a symbolism of his racism? unless
Because-
there was some.
Right, exactly. Because
Ties
there
to
is something behind it. So when I hate knee-jerk reactions just probably about as much as every other human being on the face of the earth, where we pull back and go, oh yeah, no, we can't do that. Like killing the lion. Now all of a sudden we want to capture everybody who's ever killed a lion.
Right.
Even though they paid money to a government
That solicits this type
that
of
said, hey,
transaction.
come on over, kill a lion. It's all fun and
Kill a
games."
giraffe.
Right. And then all of a sudden, well,
There's a picture of a lady.
that's not right. And then these airlines are like, well, we're not transporting
They're trophies.
their trophies. Are you kidding me?
You've been doing it for.
You've been doing it forever, and now you're not. Yeah, I mean, where do we draw the line as a society and just say, hey, you know what? People are going to do stupid shit.
Okay,
I don't
South
need
Park-
to agree with it.
South Park had a very effective episode in which Cartman was going to dress up as a ghost. Okay? And his ghost outfit looked very much like he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Okay? So, in using your logic and your reasoning, if something is, it should be okay for people that aren't racist to dress up like ghosts that look like the Ku Klux Klan.
Okay,
then.
so I painted with a really broad
You
brush
did.
there.
But so I'm trying to figure out then where do we say it's knee jerk and where do we just say it's been a long time coming?
That's a good question.
You know? And we've just not
But-
looked at it because of
Well, here's the thing.
laziness, capitalism.
Nothing happens
yeah.
until something or somebody dies in a
And
tragic.
polarizes the base.
Right, exactly.
And who effectively communicates
So-
that polarization across the whole country?
The media.
The media.
That's right.
Because, you know, if we wouldn't have heard, like I said, the Confederate flag, the whole reason the dude even embraced it as a symbol of what he was claiming to be, which was racist, was because it had some racist ties and already. You know, I mean, I think
Sure,
that as
sure
far
it
as
does.
learning about history, I didn't ever walk away from history and thinking that the Confederates and the Union, that one was more racist than the other.
Well, no.
This was a disagreement over ideals, and it was a forming of people becoming morally correct, no differently than some of the religious fights that went on in history.
Right.
They were fighting over what they considered, this is my property because that's the way it always was. So again, was it a long time coming, or was it a knee-jerk reaction to...
Given the circumstances around that, it was a knee-jerk reaction.
I get you on that. But I know, but I'm just saying,
it was a long time coming.
other things in our
at the
history,
same time.
other things in our history, and not just the fact that those people were fighting against a government that was going to abolish slavery, made that flag have a symbolism for racism, and not just that it was a Confederate flag.
No,
And so I understand people that are from the South going, well, this is part of our heritage and this is part of our history, because I didn't necessarily look at those people, and I guess the plantation owners were racist, but that would have been the money trail that was funding the Confederate Army and the
Yes,
people.
they were, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they were.
I
But that
would-
doesn't mean that
am I naive then to think that the Confederate was wanting to secede from the Union, so that was their flag, even though we were on the same kind?
But that was
who they
not the
were.
Confederate flag, though. It was a battle flag that was used when they went to battle.
Oh, really?
Yes,
It-
but we've
Okay,
gone
well-
Facebook on the situation. We just turned into a Facebook thread.
We have.
we did.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
So unfriend us now. Oh, you already did. Never mind. Don't wait. So
It
things
makes
are a
sense
long
to
time
me
coming.
for like, okay, Walmart stopped selling the Confederate flag, right?
Right.
And the airline, whichever airline it is, said that they're no longer going to.
It was like three of them, right?
But
Yeah.
Is there three of them
Yeah.
now? But the first one, it was a PR move for business because,
Money.
right. But when we start legislating with, like making laws like you can't fly a Confederate flag.
That's where you draw the line that says it's overstepping. That's a
That's
knee-jerk
what-
reaction.
I think so,
Yeah.
because people still have rights to believe and to choose
Okay.
to...
You can be
Okay.
racist
right,
if you want
all
to.
you want. People don't have to agree with you. That's
Okay.
their same right.
So okay, I'm going to follow your logic here because it's great. I like it for once.
Smell
I mean,
sarcasm. but-
Uh-oh.
No,
Okay.
seriously.
All right.
Everything's fine until we legislate it.
Correct.
And then it becomes unfine because you're telling me that your morals are better than mine.
No,
That-
no,
That you
When
know
we
what the
legislate.
society needs better than I do.
no, I'm not saying that.
When
no
it
more.
becomes the
But
legislation.
when it comes to legislation, when we sit down, that's what it becomes. And we as a society, obviously, we showed up here because we were tired of oppression in Britain. So what makes us think that people really want to abide by our laws that we impose? And the more that we impose, the less free we become, and the more rebellious we become. So
There's a lady. She's going around Facebook. She's not going around. They did a news thing.
Knocking.
I think this applies, sort of, but I might rabbit trail into something else that has nothing to do with the conversation. So this woman jogs around her city. There was a news piece on it, and she's upset because of all the catcalling. And she's feeling oppressed as a woman because when she's jogging, people will yell out their window or whatever. So she's pushing for a law that makes that a
Punishable.
felony or whatever, not a felony, but yes,
Misdemeanor.
punishable
Citationable.
by law to scream out your window at someone that's jogging.
because she's
So
uncomfortable.
because she's uncomfortable and it's, pressing her ovaries or something. So, well,
they do have feelings.
You got 30 seconds.
we got 30 seconds.
That was it.
That was it then.
That was
Yay!
But
that was probably
you
the
can't make a law like that. Is legislating morality.
Right.
Like, while I think it's not okay that some asshole yells at her, he's an asshole and he has a right to be an asshole, and you can't like.
You can't legislate.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you can't legislate that. Agreed.
That goes back to, yeah.
You have the right to bear
Is
arms.
this a long time coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out next week.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
I want to come back.